여러분, 보고 싶었어요. So, I've recorded this video twice now, and I did not realize that the entire time my mic wasn't actually plugged in. Yay, Faith! Well, anyways, I know it's been forever since I've uploaded a video, and there were so many I wanted to do. My 1 year anniversary came by, and I had all these videos planned, and I didn't get a chance. This semester has been so crazy in school. It is by far my hardest semester, and I've just been so crazy, and I'm really sorry, you guys. I feel really bad, but now I have a video. I've had this video planned for like months and months, and I was not gonna miss it. It's just a creepypasta pretty much, which I love creepypastas, and I've never written one. This is not my normal style of writing, so it may be a little bit rough, but I hope it's okay. And hopefully that the mic is actually working and doesn't sound horrible, because by other recordings I was like, I know my mic is not this bad. So anyways, you guys, I really hope that you enjoy this. And yeah, so here it goes. The title of it is possibly That Was No Tree, but I might change that, so that's a tentative title, so I might just cut this out. Well, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy. Here it goes. We all know it, don't we? The feeling of being watched, of not being safe, of being followed, stalked, hunted. Usually it's a feeling to be ignored, the human brain bringing fear to life in its own twisted way. But what if that's not always the case? What if when you feel that creature stalking you in the night, there really is something out there in the darkness? Well, I for one know it's not always just some twisted joke your mind is playing on you. Sometimes there really is a reason to fear the dark, because monsters do lurk where no eyes can find. I learned this lesson 3 nights ago. I was out with 2 of my friends who had just gotten home for summer break. It was our first time seeing each other for a while, and due to our schedule, we had to meet around 9 at night, leaving little entertainment left open, especially in a small town like the one we lived in. With no idea of what else to do, we decided to head for the beach, which is about 40 minutes from where we all lived. On the way there, we had to go through a road which is somewhat of a legend for its being supposedly haunted. It was one of those back roads that ran through the forest with no lights or signs of humanity throughout its entirety. The most famous part of this particular road was an old brick bridge. People told stories of a girl who had hung herself there, and if you drove under the bridge at night and turned off your car lights, you would see her ghost hanging from said bridge. Being someone who didn't believe in this particular variety of spirits or ghosts, going down this road wasn't all that terrifying for me. Even so, the thrill of it made for a far more interesting evening, and we went through it once only to circle back and stop under the bridge on the second go. It had been unusually busy that night, and we had seen several cars go by, but now we were left alone in the darkness. Being the cowardly girls we were, we only left our lights off for about 30 seconds before we all started screaming for no good reason and turned the lights back on. I gripped the armrest to my right tightly as I saw something move out of the corner of my eye the moment the lights were turned back on. I had a bad feeling coming back there the second time, a feeling which I had experienced before other disasters had occurred, something which had almost always been a sign of trouble ahead. I had been screaming along with my friends in good humor, but as soon as I saw that shadow, a glimpse of something out my window, my mouth closed, and I sat staring, fear washing over me, real fear this time, real terror. Knowing I had been the only one to see the movement, I scanned the forest beside the car for several seconds, but to no avail. There was nothing out there. I must have been imagining it. Regardless, I wasn't too keen on staying on that road and urged my friends to move on, using my desire to get to the beach sooner rather than later as an excuse. Laughing, my 2 friends complied, and after coming out one end of the road, we once again turned around and went back towards the beach. As we made it to the halfway point, again passing under the bridge, the car's lights shone dully on the worn surface of the bridge, which provided just enough reflection to help light the woods around us. Looking back to the same spot where I had seen the movement minutes before, I jumped in my seat and let out a startled gasp as 2 shining red eyes flashed by the window as we drove past. Never before had I seen an animal's eyes catch such a glow when light shone upon them. On top of the color, the creature must have been huge for how widely spaced the eyes were. It was hard to see as we passed going by 50, but there was something terrifying about those eyes, something evil. Collecting myself as my friends berated my cowardice, I managed to push those eyes from my mind and hold a completely pointless conversation with my 2 friends. After a long drive, we finally arrived at the beach, but this time it was past 10 and there were few people on the outs. Having only been into this particular beach once in my life, I followed my friends as we walked past the main sandy section towards the rocky outskirts. There were no lights out here, and the darkness was absolute. I pulled out my phone and used it to light the way. We really didn't have a destination in mind. We were just walking to walk. As we did so, one of my friends suddenly stopped, her eyes fixed straight ahead towards the tree line which skirted the beach. "There's someone out there," she whispered to us with a quavering voice. My other friend and I laughed, looking at the trees, at the large trunk which we assumed she was looking at. It was huge, the thickest trunk I had ever seen, but besides that, there was nothing special. We were still too far away to make out any details, so we continued our teasing as we drew closer. Having had my eyes fixed on that spot the entire time, I jumped and screamed at something which I cannot explain in words suddenly appeared in place of the trunk, as if it had been there the entire time. I stopped dead in my tracks, terror gripping my heart and turning my blood cold. I screamed that there was something there, and without another word, my two friends and I were racing for the main beach, which was some distance away by this time. There had been something out there, but whatever it was, I don't think it was human. I had seen a man, I guess, squatting on the ground, kind of the way a gorilla would. We had still been far away, and I had been unable to truly make out any features, but there was something so off-putting, so eerie and unnatural about that thing. Thinking back, I feel like his proportions were off. His shoulders were too big, his arms far too long, and the way he'd been crouching there, as if waiting for us, as if watching us. But the one thing which scared me most, the one thing I knew my friends didn't see, his eyes. They were the same blood-red eyes I had seen in the woods before. My friends and I ran until we were completely out of breath. It wasn't the playful laughter and squeal-filled run of friends having fun, but the silent, desperate run of three terrified girls. One of my friends looked back desperately over dozens of times as we raced along. I knew why. We all did. We all felt it. Something was following us, stalking us. Once we made it back to the main beach where a few people were lingering, we stopped only long enough to catch our breath before we ran to the car. We drove home within 30 minutes, speeding the whole way. Even as we drove, still we all felt it. Something was out there. Something was still out there. As we once again drove through the haunted road, I saw those red eyes, this time as I looked out the back window. I stifled a scream and didn't look back in the rest of the way home. There were no words shared between my friends and I. We simply went our separate ways, and I haven't seen them since. But I have seen other things. I've been having dreams. Horrible, terrifying dreams. Dreams about that night. Dreams about what we saw. And more than that, dreams about them. They call themselves Trillions, but who they are and what they want, so far I still don't know. I do know, however, that they somehow appear as trees, at least sometimes. If you think about it, it's a perfect disguise. Do you ever know how many trees are in your neighborhood, on your block, your road, in your backyard? Do you ever think maybe there's one more tree than there used to be, a little less space than there once was? Did you ever notice maybe something about that tree, something when you look, really look, isn't quite right? Well, I have. I know how many trees are on my block, my street, my yard, and there's more, so many more. Every day more come. Every day I see them. They're watching me, hunting me. I know it's only a matter of time now before they take me, before they pounce. I think maybe it's already too late for my friends. I've called them so many times, called their family and friends. No one answers. No one knows. I think they're gone now, and I think soon I will be too. But I want you to know, before they come, I want you to see. Count the trees. Number each one you pass in your drive every day. Sometimes there are more. Sometimes the number just isn't right. And that's when you should be scared. At night, when I look out my window, I see them, those red eyes. Every night I look, and every night they get just a little bit closer. It won't be long now, I know. The trees are coming, and it won't be long now. Alright guys, I hope that you enjoyed that. There were a few mistakes in there, and I apologize for that. I will get better at this if I continue to do it. I promise, but this was a first go, and I hope that it was okay. I hope that the story was okay and all that good stuff. I hope that you all have a wonderful, I have a lot of hopes today. I hope that you all have a wonderful Halloween. Happy Halloween. Have fun at all your parties and with all your friends. Be safe. Don't, run into an axe murder or anything. I hope that you all have a great night, and I will see you guys later, hopefully soon. School's ending soon, so at least after school. Bye, guys. 안녕.